Welcome to a wedding podcast with Katie and Stefan. This is a little strange.
Yeah, it's the COVID edition.
The COVID-19 edition. Wow, this is weird. It's really weird because Stefan and I are usually like sitting next to each other. Like we've usually talked a little bit and bantered before we started. And though we did do that, we are like, we're not that far apart. We're in different towns, but it's not like, we live like 15 minutes from each other. So
yeah,
that's not that weird. But we are quarantined or social distancing.
Yeah. And
I don't know which one we're supposed to say at this point. I don't know the technical term.
Well, I'd say we're definitely socially distancing right now.
So. Yes. Which is weird for two very busy, very like on the go people. Like,
oh yeah,
I was just telling Stefan, like, I unloaded my dishwasher just now, and I thought, now what? What am I supposed to do for the next like week?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, now we have an opportunity. Like, we are being told by our government to just sit down and watch some movies all day, and we're like, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We just want to be out.
Yeah, but usually about the fall, like once wedding season is like trickling down, I'm usually like, you know what, I want just 1 week at my house to like binge on Netflix shows and eat junk food, and now I'm like, oh, I have to spend this whole week binging Netflix shows and eating junk food. This stinks.
Yeah. With that, I shared that clip from a episode a while back where we actually said that it was cold out and we were like, oh, we'd just like to just I can't remember our words exactly, but we said we wanted to just stay inside and binge Netflix.
Yeah.
And then 5 weeks later.
Yeah. And now we're getting that opportunity and we're not sure about it.
We don't want to.
That's right. But yeah, I guess this is probably going to sound a little bit different too.
Yeah, you sound a little more mechanical, I guess.
Yeah, I am a robot.
Yeah. I guess I'm still kind of normal.
Yeah, you're normal. Stefan's technically he's in the studio because the studio's in his house. But he was like, I'm not going to do video, I guess, today. And I was like, well, absolutely not. It would just be, like them watching you talk.
Yeah.
Which might be kind of entertaining for people, I guess.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That would be the most boring video ever.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should just get down and dirty to it because this is so strange. This is like a podcast episode that I kind of like cancellations and postponements has like kind of been in the back of my head, but not to this extreme.
Yeah, it's such a weird time that we live in right now. Like, I was just thinking, like, we've been, even in our lifetime, we've been through some, pretty traumatic things as a world or a nation. But, like, this is so different. Like, it's just like...
It's on another level.
Yeah, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I think that's what everybody's asking. Like, what in the world?
Yeah, well, it's almost like it was overnight, almost, people were talking about it and people were joking about it. And I'm not going to lie, I was part of that group.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want people to like shame me for it, but I really didn't understand. And that's probably me, that's definitely a lesson that I've learned in all of this is, learning more and being more educated on those type of things. But I never thought that I couldn't go to the store and buy toilet paper with all of this store.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's weird.
It is so weird. And so I guess that's kind of why we're wanting to record is because we know that people, especially our wedding industry friends, not just brides, but we're all feeling a little bit uneasy just because of the unknown.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's, I think, from people we know personally, maybe to others that we don't know, but we see it in maybe some wedding groups that we're in. Everybody's seeing this. The vendors they have their fears, their questions, similar to what brides, grooms, what they may be going through right now as well. And I think that was one reason I wanted to record is just to kind of like uh I don't know, just kind of like a like an episode, we're in this together. We have the same similar fears and questions, and
Yeah.
this is let's try and find that light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like do this together and uh yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that High School Musical song, which I'm not going to sing for the group at this point because you're already like in your home, so I wouldn't want to do that to you. But like, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Look up that High School Musical
There you-
song; you will not regret it,
there you
or maybe you will.
go.
But I guess like my biggest thing, and this is for brides specifically, like the thing that I think of immediately is
Hmm.
don't cancel right away.
Yeah.
Like don't just because of all of the fear and all of the unknown and all of just the questions that are circling in our country right now,
Uh-huh.
you know, don't just immediately call and cancel everything. There are other
Correct.
solutions to this craziness.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a lot what I've seen in groups. I feel pretty fortunate that a lot of my couples aren't canceling. Some of them are postponing. Some of them are just waiting it out to see what happens. But
Yeah.
in some of the groups I'm in, I mean, I have photographers who, as soon as this news became, national news, like it hit America, they had couples canceling right away, like just
Yeah.
cancel. And
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that is, um, I mean, I get that. There is a lot of fear with this,
Uh-huh.
and maybe if it's not fear, it's just a lot of the unknown. Like,
Yeah.
well, we definitely can't do this. Let's get out, and it's like just don't cancel because. And I think maybe a lot of times is it maybe because they're thinking they can't reschedule with their wedding vendors. Maybe is there fear with
Right.
that they won't work with
Right.
them. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions, but
Yeah, yeah, and we don't know because we're not planning weddings right now. We're just dealing. I mean, I am planning weddings, but on my own.
yeah,
But I really think that yeah, just postpone it.
yeah,
Call your venue. Number one, it's just like you're rebooking your entire wedding.
yep,
Call your venue, get a date, and go from there. Now, I'm sure there's going to be instances where your venue is open and the photographer is not
hmm,
available, or your DJ, or something like that. Just it's going to be a big headache. I'm just going to tell you, but in the
yeah,
end, it's going to be worth it. You're still going to have your wedding of your dreams.
yeah.
It's still going to work out.
Yeah, and I think that's at least with some of the vendors I've been working with. I feel like that's one thing I wanted to communicate to couples is that on their wedding day, there are hiccups on the wedding day that wedding vendors really, that's when they shine. Because it's all
Uh-huh.
about like
Yep.
making the day perfect for them, and we
Right.
go above and beyond when we need to try and make the day as perfect as we can. This is no different. Like, even though we have our own concerns or questions, like I feel like we are prepared to deal with the unexpected, even if it's a pandemic. Like,
For sure.
we are prepared to do anything we can to make sure that your wedding, still happens
Yeah.
someday, and that
Yeah.
it's still perfect. Uh,
Right.
and so that has been encouraging to see with some of my couples that have rescheduled. Um,
Right.
the vendors are working together, um, and yeah, it's been pretty cool seeing it from that perspective, and I think that brings a lot of ease and
Yeah.
lowers the stress of these couples
Yeah.
that are having to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And I just feel like it's no matter the situation, it's important to just be calm.
yeah,
Don't don't freak out.
yeah,
This is just a time for maybe it's a little extra time for you to do some more planning.
yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
you're a bride and you want to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe this is the time to do that. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe I'm just thinking of that myself because I'm nervous about being stuck in my house with junk food for a week.
yeah,
But maybe you
true.
are, or maybe there's just some decisions that you're not sure about and you're,
Uh huh.
wanting to throw those in really quickly. This gives you that extra time to just really
Yeah.
make it everything you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think, it's trying to find any positive you can in this time
Right.
that's just
Right.
not very positive.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Because right now, so as of today, when we are recording this, they are saying that no, about 8 weeks. So they're saying until
Mhm.
about mid-May, which really does put a damper on it because there's a lot of spring weddings,
Yeah.
not just where we are from, which we've talked about. We live in central Illinois. There's probably not as many spring weddings here as there are other seasons, but
Yeah.
spring is a good time. And so, if you fall within that category, your first call, if you do not have a wedding planner, if you have a wedding planner, call your wedding planner. They will handle this.
Yeah.
But if you are having a venue, call your venue, make a shift. They will help navigate you through this
Mhm.
process.
Yeah.
They want it to happen just as much as you do, not just because of money
Uh-huh.
or filling their space or anything like that. I mean, obviously, everybody wants to make money in the wedding industry. That's no lie.
Yeah.
But, we're all suffering. We're all going through this.
Mhm.
So, let's just give it time, calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
And
deserves to celebrate.
yeah, and I think the same could be said to even the wedding vendors. Because if we
Yeah,
do have any other wedding vendors listening, this is an easy time to start freaking out. But
right,
similar to a bride who now has more time to maybe incorporate some things that she was hoping to,
right.
or shed some weight, whatever. Now as wedding vendors, we have a little extra time on our hands to maybe grow our business,
Uh-huh.
to work on some areas where maybe we could improve. I've seen a lot with the
Sure.
restaurant industry, with what's happening there. A lot of restaurants doing a deep cleaning. Probably
Yep.
something that's not been done, and at least not
Yeah.
as deep as they've been going,
Sure.
since they
Sure.
opened up. So, I mean, that's great. It's the situation's awful, um,
Yeah.
but that's at least a little bit of positive light in all
Yeah.
this. So,
And I love that the experts are basically telling us to fill that time with things that make you better. So
yeah.
even if maybe you don't even want to think about your wedding,
Hmm.
but maybe you need to learn a new language. Maybe you, like me, I haven't read a book in a while. Like I'll just be really honest with I get so busy and so tied down
Yep.
that it just seems like I don't have that time. So I've told myself this week that I'm at least going to read one book. Now, can I do one book in a week? I would hope so. I thought I maybe should do a bigger goal, like maybe 2 books, but I thought let's not push that.
Yeah.
I also, have some plans to organize some closets and pantry and stuff like that in my house. So,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good time to do the projects that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, and you saying that, I mean, this is, I guess, off topic of weddings, but spring just started. What is today? The 20th? Was spring yesterday?
I think spring started yesterday.
Yeah. So
First day
spring
of
cleaning.
spring.
Like, we are all stuck inside during a time when we typically do our spring cleanings. Like, how how perfect of a time to be stuck, to now go through our houses or our homes, our
Yeah.
cars, really do a
Yeah.
deep cleanse of, just, yeah. And I feel like that can really help emotionally. It's kind of the psychological thing of cleaning out the junk. We are going through a junk time in our lives right now, and you know
Yeah.
we clean everything out. Maybe the virus starts to fade away and things start to open back up, and we come out of this feeling pretty good at that point.
Yeah, for
Hopefully.
sure. Yeah, hopefully. And right now they're saying, just from articles that I've read and things like that. So I mean, this is just this is just a guess. So that if your wedding is, June or later,
Hmm.
you're good as of now.
Yeah, that's what I've
They're
seen.
hoping anyway.
Yeah.
Hoping. Nothing is guaranteed. Just continue to do what all of us are as anybody in America, not just wedding people, but we're all, looking at different, we're all on our Facebooks, we're all on the internet,
Yep.
we're all seeing all kinds of things,
Yeah.
just continue to be smart and watch those things. And it's,
Hmm.
they're going to keep us informed. There's no way that they won't.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I feel like I don't know. I guess to give a shout out to some of the early spring couples I'm working with, because
Yeah.
I feel like all of them have been doing the same thing. Where when this news first started coming out, like kind of a big deal for America, all of them reached out to me saying like, no plans are changing yet, but we have made backup plans. And like,
Yeah.
so they already had dates lined up with their other vendors.
Yeah.
So if the news came out like, groups of whatever size can't get together, they were going to pull the trigger. And a couple of them already did pull the trigger because of that. And
Right.
so I feel like, if you are in the late May to June, maybe even start making those backup plans. Not
Right.
so much like out of fear, like, well, doom and gloom sort of thing, but that way you are prepared. And then if that happened, you pull the trigger and like everything's already in place. And so it's
Right.
not like you are reacting to the news, but you've already planned for that. It's the plan to fail to plan, plan to fail, whatever.
Yeah.
However the
I
saying
knew
goes.
where you were going with that.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. That's just what I've seen firsthand with my couples.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
And just reaching out to your venue is the biggest thing because, it's getting to the point where it's like they need final numbers.
Yeah.
They maybe need a final payment or,
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Reach out to them and chat with them. I mean, I cannot speak on any other venue in the entire country except for the one that I work for. And right now we are kind of good. We don't have any brides that fall within that time frame. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really lucky. But we are looking at other events that are canceling,
Mm-hmm.
bridal showers and things like that affect me. And we're just basically either postponing them and finding them a new date, or we're working on it in terms of maybe you host a different style of it with us, or,
Yeah.
there's definitely ways that we're trying to help them as well, because,
Yeah.
it is a time where probably money's going to be a little bit tight for people.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't working, because they're not allowed to and things like that. So just work with your people. I'm not saying vendors don't freak out with what I'm saying. I'm not telling people not to pay you. I'm just, telling everybody that this is probably going to be something you have to discuss, regardless if it goes in your favor or not. It needs to be talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this lines up similar to, kind of the more boring topics we've talked about in the past, but it's all communication. Like just don't hesitate to reach out, because I think that not reaching out, I think, produces a lot more questions than answers. So I mean, anything. I know with me, I guess I can't speak for every photographer, but I feel like most of us would be like this, or any vendor, but just, reach out with any question you have. And at least in regards to your wedding. And we'll do anything
we don't
to
know
help
everything.
you. Yeah. Even if it's pointing you in the right direction, and our services, as far as making your day great, I don't feel like are they are limited to just the wedding day. It's all things about your wedding, and so wedding planning, everything with it. Definitely ask questions.
Yeah, for sure. And also make sure to keep your guests informed. That's kind of a good thing. It's so funny. So this just happened to me today. So this is perfect timing. Not a lot of things are perfect timing right now, but this was. I was supposed to have my cousin's bridal shower next weekend, and obviously it has been canceled. And they sent out a little thing on Facebook, and I got it in the mail today.
Oh, nice!
But it says will be canceled. Have a Corona for the bride to be. And I thought that was really cute. I'm not a drinker, but I thought that was like a really cute way of saying it. But, they made it fun. They made light of it, even though they were saying it's canceled, it's postponed, we're getting a different date. But, they were like, let's make light of this situation and we're just going to deal with it,
That's awesome.
So that was kind of a funny little thing. So just keeping your guests informed, and heck, we are all so informed right now. If somebody puts something on Facebook, it seems like everyone knows about it in about 3 seconds. So,
yeah, it's so wild.
Yeah. Um, and then of course, like just doing the things that the CDC says,
Hmm.
practice your hygiene,
Yeah.
do what they say.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they continue to extend this, I'm sorry. I mean, we just found out about 10 minutes ago, right before I got on this call.
Yeah.
I just found out that the restaurant that I work for is probably going to be closed another week. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, it stinks, but that's just what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And, again, just if everybody just takes this lightly, not lightly, and maybe that's not the right word. I'm trying to think of the word that I need to use because I don't think anybody's taking this
Yeah.
lightly.
Yeah.
Maybe if everybody just takes it with a grain of salt, like, is that the right word? I don't even know what I'm thinking about now.
I'm not
Like,
sure
just
either.
yeah. This is not good. See, we still don't. We're still not on the same wavelength. I guess just like again, just taking it one day at a time and being understanding.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the word I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks for the approval. And I did see something today. So our friend Tip Tanya, she's the
Oh,
best. You guys know her. She's been on the podcast, what, 4 times now?
4. Yeah.
5, 4? Yeah.
4. Yeah.
So she shared an article today, and we actually shared it on our Facebook page. So if you don't follow us on Facebook, you should find us. It's A Wedding Podcast. It is a couple that got married. I don't know. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Ooh, I didn't see that part.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if I
sure.
paid attention very well to the date. I'll just be honest with you. But it was during this whole outbreak.
It's
And
been recent.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it was in the last few days. And they basically said that they were going to get married and then they were going to, kind of do a reception later, but they live streamed it.
Oh, nice.
How smart is that?
That's awesome.
We all have access to Facebook Live. I mean, as long as you have a Facebook page, Facebook Live. I mean, do it. Why not? Everybody else is at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got on Instagram yesterday just to check on things, and I noticed that like 8 or 10 of the accounts that I follow on Instagram were all live.
Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed that too. It didn't even like hit me what's going on.
Yeah.
But
And I guess it's just because, everybody's bored.
interesting.
Yeah. So that could be a fun, if you need to get married or, there's things out there like insurance and, military and things like that. If you have to get married, live stream it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
why not?
I mean, we even talked, I guess when this releases, this will be in the past, but we even talked about going live sometime, well, maybe even a couple times, because why not? We're stuck at home.
Yeah,
and,
who knows how long this is gonna last? So
that's the only human interaction we're gonna get.
I know, right? It's like the highlight of our week at this point.
I know. Well, that's similar. Like, we started the podcast so that we could kind of actually interact with other humans, which you do with your job. But I think somebody like Tanya or me, we're kind of stuck in our holes of an office all day. and now that's been taken away from us.
Yeah, just kidding.
We're right back where we started.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a weird time, and I think that it's not nice. Again, I'm not very good with my words today, but it's just nice. I mean, we're all in this together. We're all dealing with it. We're all missing big events. I'm not missing necessarily a wedding, but my cousin's bridal shower, or I miss going to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
Our Bible study with my friends. I miss going to work, and I haven't even. I mean, it's been one day. Actually, that's a lie. I was at the restaurant this morning because I had to meet somebody there. It's just it's weird for everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
So in light of all of this, again, I just feel the urge to sing, but I just don't want to do that to you people. But
I'll post up the Tip Tanya song.
Perfect. I think that's the best way to go. And I think it's important for us to be like pretty open to you all. I mean, you guys have been listening to us. We joked today, and I mean, I don't know where our numbers are, but Stefan was like, we need to let our millions of fans know. I mean, we're not in the millions yet, but there are a lot of you out there. And so if you have questions, like, that's what our Instagram and Facebook pages are for. Yeah. And Stefan and I are locked up at home, so we're available to answer questions. So reach out to us,
Yeah, I would love to see some of that. That'd be cool.
Please give us something to do.
That's what it is. We're
Yeah, and
actually
by that I
begging
mean
you.
I'm begging you. No. I'm begging, please. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just an awkward. This was an awkward episode. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awkward.
It's different. But
yeah, it is. It is. But we're all gonna get through it.
yeah. But and that's why I kind of wanted to do this episode too, because this is a different situation for everybody. So we're dealing with that too, even with the podcast. So
yeah,
but
even through podcasts, who would have ever thought?
But yeah,
well, I guess it's just important to note that, though this is kind of a trying time for not only brides, but our vendor friends and people in the wedding industry in general, we're going to continue to bring content as we normally do. Episodes might be a little bit different the next couple of weeks. We are lucky enough that we've kind of archived a few.
Mm-hmm.
So we are lucky in that aspect. But, we're going to continue to bring it the best that we can. It's not going to slow us down. Yep. We're not going to allow it.
Yeah, we'll make something work. So
yeah. Stefan's got to stay at home, though. He's got two little bitty ones out that he's got to protect. I mean, and his wife. But, those little children, they can't get it. So
yeah.
I've made my parents quarantine for the last 4 days, and I brought them groceries this morning, and I think they're already done. I think they're already ready to be done. So
that's awesome.
So, again, just making light of it and doing what the CDC says is what we can do at this point, and we'll be back and better than ever.
True. Yep. That's the ultimate light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right.
We'll come out of this better. And that's
better than before.
Yeah. That's what
What's that? It's like a Drake song. Last name ever, first name greatest. That's going to be us in the end of it.
There we go. Theme song.
That's right. Well, thank you all so much again for continuing to listen and continuing to give us so much love. We super appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Stefan, per usual, probably needs to share where you can find us because that's just his job and he's so good at it.
Yeah. One of these days I'll master it. But find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, A Wedding Podcast. And then anywhere you listen to podcasts, Katie and Stefan, A Wedding Podcast.
Yeah. All the things. We're happy to help. So
yes.
Awesome. Well, everybody stay safe, wash your hands, social distance, isn't it 6 feet away?
6
feet away. Yep. But also like we said, go on a walk, read a book, better yourself. And we will see you very, very soon.